go. No. That was okay, it was if he was being paid by the Democrats and he said no, but I'm not finding it, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip on from that one. So I'm gonna talk about his issue with Club Shay Shay. DL Hughley says Club Shay Shay is messy and very predatory and that he wouldn't do the show. He was asked to do the show, but he's not going to do it because it's messy, it's this and that. Now, here's my thing. DL Hughley, you decide to go on Vlad TV and you said that Club Shay Shay is very predatory, very messy. Then what do you consider Vlad TV? Do you consider that more journalism then? Like, I'm just confused because Vlad TV asks the same questions. Is it because he's Caucasian that you see it differently than when a black man is asking you a question? I just want to know. So let's go ahead and take a listen to it right now.
Okay, let's switch gears. Now, you said you would never go on Club Shay Shay.
No.
Okay. And you said something interesting. You said that Shannon Sharpe's interview with Cat Williams was predatory and messy, and it doesn't feel there's a fair example of relationships among black comedians.
I don't think so at all. I think that like any other endeavor, there are jealousies, idiosyncrasies, there's all, but I don't think that's indicative of the experiences that most of us have. And I think that after the Cat Williams interview, which was a phenomenon, he kept trying to replicate it.
Oh, I bring another.
Shannon kept trying to replicate it. He kept trying to let me bring on somebody else to have a beef and then do it just got to be like I can understand it was a phenomenon, but then all of a sudden you tried to replicate it. So to me, just like you love what you do, he love what he does. Mm-hmm. For me, as a matter of principle, it is too messy. Or now I think it's morphed into something else because I think that has kind of that brook has run dry. But for me, it's just all of those people I saw on there were people who wanted to go on there because of what happened Undisputed. And I talked to you about it here before he even had that. With the way Skip did him, made me and a lot of black people go, fuck this. We're going to make sure this brother's okay. But then you take that, and the very people that got there first, I think were damaged by the first iteration of what went on. And it's, for me, I would never do it.
Well, yeah, you said you never heard any.
So let's talk about that. That's not the whole clip, but let's go ahead and talk about it now. So here's my issue. Shannon Sharpe didn't do anything. If you go back to that Cat Williams interview, and I'm going to tell you why they're mad at Shannon Sharpe. If you go back to that Cat Williams interview, Shannon Sharpe gave Cat Williams an introduction. And basically, when the introduction happened, Cat Williams comes in and immediately blasts off. Go back to that interview, which is the highest viewed interview of all time on YouTube. Go back to that interview and you will see Shannon Sharpe gave an introduction and then Cat Williams just went off. There was nothing that he could have done. The reason why they're mad at Shannon Sharpe, not because he didn't interrupt them or try to get him to, change the subject or anything like that. They're mad because he put it out. What he was supposed to do was take that and then take that interview, chop it up and splice it up and give us a rated PG version. But here's the problem. Everybody else was allowed to talk about Cat Williams, but Cat Williams couldn't respond. The reason why Cat Williams wanted to do the interview is because people were speaking on his name. So because they were speaking on his name, he wanted to talk about it. That's what happened. And so if somebody comes on my platform, talks about somebody, the person that they're talking about has the right to come on my platform and defend themselves. That is crazy if you think that it's okay for someone to go on a platform, talk about the person, and what Cat Williams said is they lied on me, so I'm going to correct the lie. And that's what he did. But let's not forget, I think DL Hughley, even though he didn't mention it, has a problem that he also interviewed Monique too. And Monique lit into DL Hughley as well too. So basically, oh, he's showing that we don't have any camaraderie between comedians. That had nothing to do with nothing. Let's stop acting like comedians like each other. Because wasn't it Steve Harvey who tried to undercut oh my God, why is my mind going blank? Bernie Mac for Ocean's 11. Remember that story? He said that he would do it for less, and he was trying to shortchange Bernie Mac so he could get the role instead of him. So yeah, you know. So if Cat Williams wanted to clap back and he wanted to say something to people that had his name in their mouth, he has every right to. Every right to. Let's go ahead and finish the rest of it so I can give the rest of my commentary. Oh, and we're going to talk about Marlon Wayans again.
You want to say anything bad about Cedric the Entertainer?
I never.
Until the Cat Williams interview.
Yes, and I was glad it happened. Because I was so tired of nobody saying nothing bad about Cedric.
Take something to cheat. That I've been taking all these years. Here,
you know, I called him. I was like, man, I'm so glad it.
I mean, I met Cedric, man. Cool dude.
He's a
I've never
wonderful
interviewed him, but I've met him before. We talked. Cool
He's
dude.
a wonderful fucking dude.
Yeah.
And frankly, it was about time somebody said some shit about him. Frankly, I was disappointed it took so long.
I mean, were you actually asked to come on Club Shay Shay?
Yes, I was going to do it like a long time ago. Honestly, before that happened, I had been slated to do it a couple of different times. I just didn't. But it has become something to me. I mean, I'm glad he's making his money. I'm glad it's doing what it's doing. I'm not jealous or hateful. It's just something you don't need me to do it. You got all it's just a personal thing I wouldn't do. I'm not going to do it. And people can say, why you do Vlad, not him? I fuck with you.
We have a relationship.
I don't got to fuck with it. If I don't want to fuck with you, and you don't need me anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I didn't like,
and he was my favorite football player ever.
Now, he's dope.
He's my favorite tight end ever. Ever.
The thing that I don't like about Shannon Sharpe after that interview is that he started putting out this information that he made more money off this interview than he ever made in any year playing football.
Here we go about the money.
He made something like $2 million playing football. And I remember when I questioned it, because I know YouTube. I've known YouTube for 16 years, right? I know how many views brings a certain amount of money and so forth. And yes, I know there's also like the streaming, on Spotify and so forth, but there's no possible way he made $3 million off that one interview, right? It's just not possible. I remember he responded, not to me directly, but he took little shots at me and so forth, saying, oh.
All right, let me stop it right there because Vlad TV, y'all Caucasian ass, he was not responding to you. He was speaking overall because let's not pretend that Stephen A. Smith, everyone was coming at Shannon Sharpe saying that he was messy and that he shouldn't be doing these interviews and stuff like that. And let's be honest, if they had the Cat Williams interview, they would have done it too. Because let's not forget, after that, Joe Rogan, who is Caucasian, wanted to do a Cat Williams interview and did a Cat Williams interview. Now, his interview, Joe Rogan's interview was a little different. It was a little like out there, like do like Twilight Zone-ish. I didn't really get down with it, with the get down. But again, anybody who had Cat Williams on their platform would have took advantage of it. Every YouTuber on this platform would have done it. Especially if you're a YouTuber who had Jaguar Wright on your platform, you would do it. Oprah's speaking right now at the DNC, y'all. But Any YouTuber, and that's including me. I done had Jag on my platform multiple times. I done had Jag on here saying some crazy ish. I would be foolish to say, oh, I would never have Cat Williams on there just spewing what? I would love for Cat Williams to come on here. I would love it. Are you serious? Are you serious? And then he always wants to bring up that, oh, he makes more, you know, he's saying that he made over $3 million, blah, 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 and I understand this and that. No, obviously you don't understand it. You've never had a video to do those numbers to understand it, Vlad. That's the issue, Vladimir, you do not know if he made 3 million, 6 million, 10 million, because you never had a video to do that. Just like for me, I always say, oh, it's about a guesstimate about how somebody, you know, if you ask me like, oh, how much do you think this person made or that person made? I'll be like, oh, probably like this much. It's just a guesstimate. But I can't tell you for a fact like, oh, no, that person didn't make that much. I don't know. I've never got 1 million views on like a live stream or a regular video. I've gotten it on YouTube Shorts, but you don't make no money off of that. But anyway, let me go to Vlad's most popular video. 9 million views. That's not 60 or 70 million views. Vlad wouldn't know how much you would get for a kind of video like that. Oh, that's a music video, by the way. Hold on. 7.1. 7.1 with Pinky. That was his biggest interview ever. Or his biggest video. And that was only 4 minutes. A 4-minute video that has 7 million views, yeah, that's not going to equate to a lot of ad revenue. But a 2-hour video with 71 million, let me see how much that got real quick. Hold on. Because we want to talk in facts. And I hope y'all not talking about the immigrants in the chat. This is not about immigration, damn it. Hopefully y'all change the subject. I was seeing that earlier, but I didn't want to get distracted, so I just ignored it. But I hope y'all moved on. Thank you. 73 million views. And the video was 2 hours and 46 minutes. I've never had a video that did 73 million views, 2 hours and 46 minutes. So I can't possibly tell you that Shannon Sharpe is lying about how much money he made. You know, same with Vlad. And let's be honest about something too. He's backed by a company, Shannon Sharpe is. So his pay rate and what he gets is a little different compared to everything else. Because let's be honest about something. The more subscribers you do have, the better the RPM is about how much you get paid. It does change. Some people can even negotiate the RPM. You know how usually they take YouTube takes about 55% of the ad revenue? Well, when you're a somebody, you can negotiate that. Maybe Vlad doesn't have it like that where he can negotiate that. See what I'm saying? There's more value. And maybe that's what also he's amazed by, because it seemed like this black man came out of nowhere. You know, he was on TV. Well, he's still on TV. He's on First Look. He was on Undisputed, now First Look, and First Take, I'm sorry. And now, all of a sudden, he's talking about how much money he's making. And Vlad's been in the game for, 15, 20 years, I want to say. So yeah, he's a little salty. Not little, he's very salty. So he's always talking about how much money Shannon Sharpe made, and he's lying. And he believes that's why Marlon asked for 40K. He believes Marlon asked for 40K because Shannon Sharpe. I highly doubt that. I think Marlon didn't do the interview because he don't with you. That's why. He doesn't with you. Ridiculous. And now we see why he don't with you. All right. So I want to go ahead and play the Marlon Wayans clip. And DL just say that he's friends with Marlon. He does say that he is friends with him.
So recently, I reached out to Marlon Wayans to do an interview. He came back with $40,000 plus 30% of all future revenue from this interview.
Right.
Which I thought was completely ridiculous.
Right.
And I told him that. I remember I said, listen, Marlon, I would rather have you say that you don't fuck with me rather than give me this stupid ass number.
Right.
And I think that these numbers come from Shannon Sharpe putting this out there. Well,
I don't think it's just from.
He made $2 million off that. I guess 40,000 is not that big of a deal.
Marlon, in our talks, right? He hit me, and I don't know what the figure was. He's my favorite Wayans. Like, so he's a. I remember.
Yeah, I thought Marlon was dope, which is why I reached out to him in the first place.
He's a dope dude. And two things I'll say. One, when my old man died, I'll never forget. He hit me, and he said, "I don't play golf, but I know you do, and I'll play golf with you till you feel better." And it was the dopest thing ever. So Marlon hit me and asked me about you, and I said, I fuck with him, so I can't really. I don't know what the financial constraints of anybody's dynamic is, nor do I ever ask. I talk to you because I fucking talk to you. Don't make me never mind. But I do think that people now, because of not only that, but all these in the zeitgeist, there's this thing where people are trying, and I think rightfully so, to kind of to get what they believe is a fair share of whatever their whatever their images or likenesses or brand is. So I'm
gonna go ahead and stop it.
Would look like, but I do know.
Again, this is what Monique was perpetuity, where he can reuse your content, splice it, dice it, whatever way he wants to, and still make ad revenue off your interview. So that's why Monique decided not to, sign the contract. Same with Marlon. If he knows that you're going to get all this money and stuff like that, he's not going, let me take down your comment. Shout out to all the Caucasians out there. If he knows that you're going to receive all this money, well, yeah, let me give him a price. But I still think Marlon gave him that price because he don't f with him. That's why he gave him that. That was a FU, basically.
That is a conversation people have a lot.
Look, I had to explain to Marlon that asking me for 40,000 plus 30% is the equivalent of me asking him to perform at my comedy show for $100. That's the equivalent. That's the type of offer in terms of ridiculousness that we're doing here. Right? There's no possible way I'd pay him $40,000. Because I explained to him that your interviews, like for example on The Breakfast Club, your last Breakfast Club interview did about 300,000 views. I did more than twice that myself.
Right.
And I don't charge The Breakfast Club, and neither did you. So my thing was, it was sort of insulting. I offered him a fair offer, and he wasn't interested. Right. So I'm like, all right, cool. It is what it is.
To me,
it left a bad taste in my mouth.
I think to me, and I can only speak for me and our dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I dig talking to you, and I get good liquor and cigars.
You didn't get cigars this time, though. I couldn't find any.
No, I will. No, you're gonna find
okay,
it.
I know your cigars. Yeah,
but I think the reason things like this work is because just like when you watch a roast, I'd never do a roast either because the people I see, they gotta like you. The old roast were people who liked you, you had a relationship with, and then it was funny. It wasn't predatory. Now it's like people that are funny writing funny, evil shit that you can't laugh at because you can take a joke coming from somebody you fuck with.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to just stand around and let somebody that I don't even know, right? Why would I do that? And so I think this dynamic has to be the same thing. I think it works because you're interested. You have to be interested in people. It has to be one of two things. Either you have insight and a way of dealing with somebody that leads them to go down paths they wouldn't, Or you see that they when I watch you and TK, I'm like, they fuck with each other.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I have helped out.
I say they fuck with each other.
Listen, I have asked TK how much better his career has done because of doing Vlad TV year after year. Yeah. His words, not mine. I would never claim that. I have no idea what's in his pockets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he said that the amount of bookings and his overall visibility and opportunities have increased drastically. Most comedians that do my show regularly have all told me the same thing. Right. So my thing was like,
I get a lot of death threats from fucking death threats. We all get them. We all get them. It ain't the same for me, but thanks. Thanks for telling me how you help the other motherfuckers.
My thing is,
he said TK. It's that TK Kirkland dude, right? That's who he's talking about, I think. But let me go ahead and interrupt right there. DL Hughley doesn't even realize that he's being used. Literally, this man is baiting you into a horrible situation where you're talking about your friend. Because did he let you know that he called your friend gay? He called your friend a homosexual because he didn't want to do his interview. He said he needed to come out the closet already. Do you know he said that about your friend, DL? And again, just like somebody said, MB, I think it was, why is he talking so publicly about someone else's money? About what someone else wanted to, ask for? You know how many times there's other people who requested for interviews and they didn't get it because somebody asked for a certain amount? Usually that's behind the scenes and people don't come out and talk about it. So for you who's unprofessional, why would you ever talk about how much somebody else was trying to ask for, how much, you were going to offer them? Well, mind you, Vlad didn't say how much he countered offered for or what he even offered initially for, because he probably knows he lowballed Marlon. But again, that's nobody's business. Nobody's business what he asked for. And as soon as he started talking, DL should have said, hey, I'll have a conversation with you as my friend, but I'm not going to have a conversation with you on camera. So that messy and predatory stuff that DL wanted to say about Shannon Sharpe, just realize this is the same pattern that Vlad is doing to you. And this is why Monique roasted your ass, DL.
What I told Marlon was like, I'm going to give you this offer. This is fair based on your numbers.
Right.
And look, if it does well, maybe later on, whatever. And it's like, nah, not interested. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to talk about it then. And I remember me and Aries talked about it. I sent him, the clip. And he was like, yo, you don't want the smoke from me. You don't want me to respond? I said, please respond. Please respond. Go for it. I said what I said publicly. Because the problem was that first of all, he passed me off to someone.
So you antagonized him by sending him the clip of you and Aries Spears talking about it. Why would you try to antagonize him like that?
Else to do the negotiations, right? And this woman came back with that number and said, well, this is based on how much he gets for a show. And I'm like, this is not a show. Yeah, right. People are not buying tickets. There's no 2-drink minimum. They're not buying chicken fingers and hamburgers along the way and so forth.
No ancillary.
It's not the same thing. It's an appearance. It's on YouTube. You have to realistically look at it. And all these other platforms like Drink Champs and Breakfast Club, you don't charge for them. So to turn around and give me this insane number I'd rather say I just don't want to do it. That's my thing. I would rather, if I give someone a stupid number, it means I don't really want to do it. Right. And if I want to do it, I'll work with them or I'll just do it for free.
Well, this is a weird position for me, man, because I fuck with both you guys. And
that's cool.
So.
And listen, at one point, Marlon can come on my show for something that I'm not going to totally lose my shirt on.
Right.
It makes no business.
He doesn't want to go on your show.
He would not go and perform at a comedy club for $100. And I'm not going to have him do my show for $40,000 plus 30%.
By the way, I'm at the Ice House every Wednesday. Did you get everybody get $100?
All right, well, whatever. Okay. Yeah, but DL, you totally fumbled right here. Because as the friend, you should have never agreed to even talk about this on camera. You should have said, hey, I'm not going to talk about this with you on camera. You literally fed into it. You fed into that whole messy, predatory stuff that you was talking about. This is why I don't feel bad for DL, especially when Monique was dragging him. You deserve this. And mind you, I like DL as far as like his conversations around politics and stuff like that. Do I think he's the best comedian? No. You know, he might got a funny couple of lines that make you go, ho, ho, but it's not, you know, he don't have a joke that makes you go, it makes me go, ha, 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 you know, laugh like I'm rich, you know, with my pinky up. But other than that, he's not really that hilarious. But I do like his thought process around different things going on in the world and politics. I do like his thought process around that. But again, you should never let somebody talk about your friend like that. And especially about their money. About their money. If he feels like he's owed $40K or in another 30% revenue, that's what he feels like. And again, if Vlad came respectfully to somebody, I think he would have did it. But because of who Vlad is, that's probably why he didn't want to do it. Watch. I guarantee you, Marlon's going to be on Club Shay Shay. I guarantee you. Mark my words. He's going to be on Club Shay Shay. Godfrey shut Vlad down. Yes, he did. And Godfrey got his own platform, so he don't need to do the interviews anymore. Shout out to Godfrey. But yeah, this is crazy because literally what we were just accusing him for, using another black man to literally bash another black man. And you're literally doing the same thing. And because people keep on going on Vlad's show, it's like you ninjas will never learn. You will never learn. That is crazy to me. And for DL to be so smart, you fell for the okie doke. Right, AAE, that's 2 black men, not just 1, 2. I don't think there is a platform where I can have like a white person on my channel and have them bash a whole bunch of white people. Except when Stephanie comes on my channel. That's different. But I don't think there is like a platform where a black person, a black host can have a whole bunch of white people come on dogging out white people and stuff like that. I don't think there ever is. But on the other side, yeah, there's a lot of that. And especially, it's not even y'all talking about something that somebody did wrong. Shannon Sharpe did nothing wrong. Marlon Wayans did nothing wrong. Vlad is literally salty. Monique did nothing wrong. Vlad is salty about all 3 of those people. And it's very unprofessional that you will do an interview with somebody else to try to get them to say something. If you want to say, why don't you interview yourself? Just like when I light into these YouTubers, these doo-doo mamas and doo-doo daddies, I light into them myself. I don't need nobody to join my panel to light into somebody. AT2 is a one-man show. I do that by myself. I don't need nobody else. Just like Crazy Legs and Molly Percocet, I sent them out a warning earlier. But I bet you Molly Percocet and Crazy Legs, oh, they don't want the smoke. And they know who they are. But anyway, I'm going to leave y'all with that. I appreciate every single one of y'all for being here. Please go ahead and hit that like button. And again, I wasn't trying to ignore the immigration talk. It's just that would have changed the whole thing because I had already moved on to the DL Hughley. But I will say this. There was an immigration bill. It didn't get passed because good old Trump said, hey, I don't want this to be a victory for Joe Biden. I want this to be a victory for me. So hold off until I become president and then go ahead and pass it. But they did have an actual bill on the table that they wanted to pass. But again, they shut that down. And I'm not ignoring that it's crazy that, you know, there's a lot of immigrants in the cities and stuff like that. But let's not forget that they're being bused from Florida and Texas. I believe that's trafficking. So if anything, you should be mad at those mayors busting them, and then be mad at your elected officials for keeping them there and not sending them back to those states that they came from. On top of that, I want to say something else too. Both parties don't want to resolve that issue. You know why? Because you got companies like, what is it? Foster Farms. Remember they said they hired a whole bunch of illegal immigrants? They hired a whole bunch of immigrants, and then they had to shut down for a day because they were literally only paying them like $3. But these big corporations use all those people coming across the border and pay them dirt cheap because it's a benefit to them. We not waking it up and really seeing the big issue. The big corporations is who we need to go after. I believe it was Foster Farms. Let me look that up before we get out of here, because I don't want to I don't want a lawsuit from Foster Farms. Foster Farms. Hold on. Let me make sure it was Foster Farms. Tyson Foods. I'm sorry, Foster Farms. We love you, Foster Farms. I'm gonna go buy some chicken later on. It was Tyson Foods. I believe it was Tyson Foods. Yeah, Tyson Foods. That's who it was. I'm sorry, not Foster. Tyson Foods. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. I think I already got myself a lawsuit. I love y'all. Be safe. Please let me know what you guys think in the chat regarding Dr. Umar, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, DL Hughley, and Vlad's weird obsession with black people. Please let me know what you guys think about all of it. I love y'all. Be safe. Deuces, everybody. And we'll talk about the DNC tonight, too. We'll talk about that tonight. I'll go live.
Kamala Harris, why is she in my DM? Huh? No. She stay in my DM. Oh, y'all be thinking I'm playing. I'm not playing. Kamala Harris. She in my DM, bitch.